For the first time ever, the World Cup is being held across 3 different countries: Mexico, Canada, and the USA. So we set ourselves the following challenge.
We have 7 days to visit every single World Cup stadium, and we're going to end up at New York's Metlife Stadium, almost 2,500 miles away from here, the Sofi Stadium in Los Angeles.
But before we get there, we've got to visit 16 different stadiums overall, and we won't be travelling together.
On top of that, we have to reach a stadium before we can book our travel to the next one.
And there are 3 golden rules that we have to follow.
Rule number 1, we have to fly 4 or more different airlines.
Rule number 2, we have to take a train at some point.
And rule number 3, we have to take a selfie outside every single stadium. All we know so far is that my route goes southern and Liam's route is going to go northern.
And that means you're going to be hitting Mexico while I'll be travelling through Canada.
My first stadium is Mexico City.
Whereas mine is San Francisco.
And after that, the race is truly on and we're going to find out every next place that we have to go.
The good news is we're already in front of the SoFi Stadium, so this one starts with a selfie.
Okay, absolutely no time to mess around. SoFi Stadium, goodbye. There are planes going over my head. I've got a cab waiting for me here. I need to get on the road because my flight to Mexico City is in an hour and I do not want to miss it.
There he goes, absolute sucker. Now, first things first for me, I've got to get to the Levi Stadium, home of the San Francisco 49ers. But the stadium itself is actually much closer to San Jose. So with that in mind, I've opted for a Delta flight, a staple of US aviation, to kick off my journey flying into San Jose. But yeah, nearly at the airport now.
Okay, we're off and it's Mexico City, which is my first destination. We're heading to the Azteca Stadium, one of the most iconic stadiums in the world. It has a capacity of 87,000 and it sits at altitude over 7,000 feet above sea level. So if you're from there and you train there, you're at an advantage. I'm heading to LAX now. My plan is to fly with Aeromexico down to Mexico City. Painfully slow going at LAX. It's always slow around here and we have to go all the way around Tom Bradley and I don't have a lot of time.
Well, that was an easy journey to Terminal 2 here at LAX. Now, obviously, I haven't brought checked luggage with me this week. The amount of flights, trains, etc. that we're taking, I think that would have been a bit of a nightmare. So just travelling light. I also have TSA pre-check, which I'm sure you'll hear Nicky and I mention. Always recommend signing up to TSA if you're eligible for it. Well, there's the first tough lesson of this trip. Even though I've got a Delta first ticket today, that is not enough to get me into the Sky Club here at LAX. I also need an Amex Platinum card, which fortunately I do not have. So it's going to have to be the regular food court for me today.
Okay, it said Terminal B, which is Tom Bradley, and then they're like, haha, not really, you have to leave again and go somewhere else. Shouldn't be like this right at the start. Okay, there might have been some confusion, but the flight is here. Seems to be boarding on time. We're heading to Mexico City on an Aeromexico Dreamliner 787-9.
Okay, well here we go, boarding the first flight of many this week on this Delta Airlines Embraer 175. Hi there, how you doing? Well, I'm delighted to say that I've just taken my seat 1A, and 1A feels like a fitting way to kick off this trip. This part of the cabin is set out in a 1x2 configuration, whereas if you go further back, comfort cabin, then also the regular economy cabin, both of those are in 2x2. Well, I'm delighted to say we are officially airborne on the first leg of my trip. And so far with Delta today, all has been as smooth as you could possibly hope for. I just wonder if they're going to bring me any kind of food or beverage on this 50-minute flight. Well, I'm very impressed. 10 minutes after taking off, we've just had a drinks order taken, and I thought, you know, I'd get this trip started with a beer, but then I've just had a first for me on a plane, getting ID. Can I just get a beer, please?
Do you have ID?
Yes. Really studied that ID hard, which I'm going to take as a compliment, but yeah. Cheers to being Nicky, and cheers to England bringing it home this summer.
I'm on the Aeromexico 787-9 in AM+, which is their economy cabin, but with extra legroom. It's not quite premium economy. It's very comfortable, actually. I've got about 4 inches more legroom than seats behind me. I've got an in-flight entertainment screen. The cabin on this aircraft is arranged in a 3-3-3 configuration. I'm sat in an aisle seat, but in the middle section of 3. But actually, it's fine. I think if you're flying on this route from LA down to Mexico, definitely go for the Dreamliner if you can get it. I know they fly narrow-body planes as well, but just so you know, there are nice big planes, and even in economy, you can have a nice long-haul style experience. This is one of my longest flights on the journey, and the back of the plane was empty, so I've moved myself to a completely empty row and section. Got my lovely salad dabble. This feels luxury now. We're coming in hot into Mexico City right now. So far, things are going well. And it makes me wonder, has Levi even left Los Angeles yet?
Well, that is flight number 1 complete, and I'm delighted to say we've just touched down in San Jose about an hour after departure. Well, look at this, standing in the resplendent San Jose sunshine, and given there's a lot of time left in the day, I think I'm going to make my way over to the Levi Stadium, but I think I'm going to opt for a taxi, given we're only a 10-minute drive away, and I want to see it while the sun is still shining. Well, here we are in Silicon Valley, the tech capital of the world, and standing behind me is the gorgeous Levi Stadium, home of the San Francisco 49ers. It looks absolutely incredible in the sunshine today. With that being said, I think there's just one thing left to do.
Okay, that's one down, a lot more to go. The sun is still shining. My goal is to get to the stadium while it's still light. I don't know if that's going to happen. I take it back. That was one of the most efficient processings of foreign passport holders. And also, if you're coming here for the World Cup, none of those like scary immigration desks behind glass and whatever. It was like a lovely desk. Immigration officer, super friendly, welcome me to Mexico. This is nice. I feel at home. Hola. You speak English? I'll have to try and speak Spanish then. Okay, so vamos a dar un paseo. Estoy grabando donde los dejo. Yeah? Anyway, you got to hear my Spanish. Lucky you guys. Tried my best there. It's trafficy. It's really trafficy. We're approaching it now. Wow. Okay, here we are. Stadium number 2 in the bag. It's selfie time. Okay, mission complete. I'm in the Condesa neighborhood. Oh my God, this is like selfie lights just ready for the camera. I've done my research. Tomorrow there are a lot of flights from here to Guadalajara. That is the next place that I need to go and the next stadium that I need to visit.
Well, I've committed to fun stuff in every city that I go to, and this is no exception because we're here in Mexico City with my mate Jason. Flip the camera. Yeah. 2 little piggies here. This is a nice stop. The rest of the trip's not going to be like this, so I'm soaking in every second. Bon appetit.
Well, good morning from this fairly unremarkable Courtyard Marriott Hotel here in San Jose. It's a fairly gloomy morning, but that's quite fitting because today I'm going to continue my journey up the coast towards Seattle, a famously grey, gloomy, moody city, but actually one of my favourites in the US. Now, once again, there are tons of flight options available to me. I could fly from here, I could fly from San Francisco, but I think given I'm right next door to the airport, this makes the most sense. And since I'm heading to Seattle, I think I should fly with Alaska Airlines. Now, given the airport is just around the corner, why don't I work out a more exciting way to get there? Hi there, for Liam, yeah? Wait, what?
Heading to Terminal B, stop 7.
Well, I know they've been around for a while now, but there's something about Waymos that still blow my mind. So this is the self-driving taxi service. If you want something a little bit different when you're traveling around the US, I definitely would recommend doing this at least once. Thank you very much. What a lovely, smooth journey. Very friendly driver as well. I'm at my gate now, waiting to get on board this Alaska 737, and to be honest, I couldn't feel any better. I wonder how Nicky's getting on.
Good morning from Mexico City. I do not feel great. Aeromexico has cancelled my flight, so I need to find another flight. Okay, we're out. Let's do this. My Aeromexico flight to Guadalajara is boarding. It is busy, so the flight got cancelled, so lots of stuff got moved over. I had a business class ticket. They put me in economy. I was in a middle seat, but I've got myself a window seat now, so I guess that's a win. Well, here we are on board the economy cabin of the Boeing 737 MAX 8, arranged in a 3-3 configuration. Actually a pretty comfy setup for such a short flight. It's only going to be an hour. You get a nice tray table, decent amount of leg room. There's an IFE screen for everybody in the cabin. Would I rather have been in those business class seats that I was meant to be in? Sure, but I'm going to survive here. This is good enough.
Here we go, time for flight number 2 with Alaska Airlines. Good morning. Welcome to my seat 18F on this Alaska Airlines 737. Now, while I might be here in the economy cabin today, I've got something to show you. That is unlimited legroom. Look at that. So most of this cabin is set out in a 3x3 configuration, but in two of the exit row seats, you have this one seat on the side of the plane that has no seat in front of it, meaning I can fully stretch out for this 2-hour experience in the sky. I do have this nice sort of high-rise armrest next to me, but as you can see from this tape, I think my tray table is going to be stuck inside there for the duration of this flight. So I'm hoping that's not going to interfere with any food or drink service later on.
Taken off about 35 minutes today, which does impact the time I'll have on the ground, get to the Estadio of Guadalajara, back to the airport, figure out my next flight to Monterrey. But I think I've got a bit of a buffer. We might just be dealing with some Donalds in Monterrey when we get there. Or Monterrey, as I should be calling it.
Yes. Okay, we're off the Aeromexico flight. We are in Guadalajara and I need to make it to the stadium and back here in order to catch a flight to Monterrey. So let's go. I just looked at the map. What I did not realize is this journey is going to take a full hour to get there. I don't know if Liam is doing double stadium days, but I can tell you I am stressed. I'm on the day when I don't feel my best.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Well, that's flight number 2 complete. I've just touched out safely into Seattle Tacoma Airport, and honestly, I have got no complaints about that flight whatsoever. Okay, I'm not going to be lazy this time. I had a look at Uber prices, but they were around $75 for a 25-minute journey to Lumen Field, which seems a little bit extortionate if you ask me. I'm going to opt for public transport, the Green Line, the LLR. Let's go see what that's saying. Well, after a very easy journey on the LLR, I'm delighted to say I'm standing in front of the iconic Lumen Field, home of the Seattle Sounders, the Seattle Seahawks. This industrial stadium set against the backdrop of the gloomy Seattle skyline, looking absolutely magnificent. And I think with that in mind, there's just one thing left to do.
Okay, I see signs. We are on final approach. I don't see the stadium yet. We are rural here. Like, the surroundings here are like we are out, we're in the sticks. We made it. Well, here we are, the stadium in Guadalajara. My God, this is a giant sweeping grass mound it sits atop of. Probably one of the coolest stadiums I've ever seen. Now, we don't have a lot of time, and so my mission is to take a selfie and get it done. Okay, stadium down, let's get back in the car and get to the airport. Okay, as we say goodbye to the stadium, I've just looked and figured out my next plan. There is a Volaris flight. So Volaris is a low-cost airline. They have a flight at 2:50 p.m. It's now 12:30. I think it's going to take an hour to get back there. We should get there just in time to check in and get on that flight and move on to Monterrey, the Estadio BBVA. Let's go.
Well, good morning. It's another gloomy day here in Seattle, but I don't mind because right now I'm at the King Street Station, which is handily located right next to Lumen Field, so a very easy way to get near to the stadium here. And I'm going to be taking my train all the way to Vancouver, BC Place, the next stadium on my list. So let's go and check in. Tell you what, King Street Station itself feels very grand and old, really quite ornate and beautiful. Okay, well, I just checked in at the ticket office behind me and they've handed me a boarding card and also a declaration slip I've got to fill out in order to get into Canada on my train. Now, let's go and find the platform. Welcome to business class on the Amtrak Cascades train. As you can probably tell, we are now en route to Vancouver. The train departed the station bang on time at 8:30. There are 2 of these services a day between Seattle and Vancouver. I thought, you know what, I'm going to treat myself to the business option and see what all the fuss is about. It cost me about $70 extra, and it remains to be seen whether that's worth it or not. But so far, I'm kind of liking the vibe. There is also a good amount of recline, and if I pull back this knob, you can see that my seat reclines a very decent distance, and then to spring it back into action I just press the down button. It jolts forward like that with a bit of a bang. Tell you what, that is loud and quite violent. There's also a cafe car with a full breakfast, lunch and snack menu, and because I'm in business class I get this little voucher which gets me $3 off any purchase. And since it's breakfast time, I think I'm going to find something to eat. Hi there, how you doing? Can I get the breakfast burrito? Wonder how Nicky's getting on over in Mexico.
So I'm in the line to board this 12-year-old A320 of Volaris from here, Guadalajara, to Monterrey. I must say that so far my experience of Mexican aviation is actually very efficient. All security checkpoints, boarding processes. It's like some of the most consistently efficient experiences I've had. Welcome on board the Volaris A320. I'm in seat 1A, which is one of their premium seats. Plenty of leg room, just the bulkhead in front of us. The tray table for me is contained within the armrest. The seats are kind of padded, and there's a half-decent recline on them too. We are on final approach into Monterrey. I'm going to head up to that stadium. Here we are. I am heading outside. Lovely orange doors for the lovely orange light, but here we go. Ah! We have arrived. I have booked an Uber. There is no viable public transport. My Uber is going to be here in about 2 minutes. I'm going to head over to the short stay car park now. Hopefully have a safe and easy ride up to the stadium. Hola, ¿qué tal? We are making some stunning progress. There is an incredible mountain view with the stadium right at the bottom. I can see it at the end of this street. Okie dokie, here we are. Stadium behind us. We have made it. It's funny that it's quiet people-wise, but it is noisy here with some kind of construction going on. But I don't think any stadium is going to have a view like this. Look at that mountain. Okay, it's time to get another one in the bag. It is selfie time. Stadium number 4, we made it. I've done the research, and whilst I would like to get out of here and get to Houston, which is our next stop, I booked a flight for 11 a.m. tomorrow morning on United. It means we're going to get an extra airline in there, and I'm going to stay overnight. It's the 4-point Sheraton in Monterrey for me tonight, and maybe we're going to get a bit of Mexican food for dinner. It'd be so wrong to be in Mexico and not eat some banging Mexican food. So we've got some good views, we've got some good food coming. I'm going to enjoy myself. I think Liam would love this place.
If you want a good indication of how old these trains actually are, it's actually dripping in between the different carriages, which I don't think I've ever seen on a train before.
Thank you.
And just like that, I've made it into Vancouver and outside the Pacific Central Station, which is conveniently only about 10 minutes from BC Place. Well, here it is, and that is BC Place behind me, or basically on top of me, the home of the Vancouver Whitecaps in the MLS. Well, that's stadium number 4 done. You know what's coming next. Look at this, the countdown is on to the very second, just 98 days until World Cup football is here in Canada. We're back at the big orange doors of Monterrey Airport. We're flying United, we're flying business class. I'm gonna have a little armchair today. It's been a struggle up till here, but today I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling like we're gonna make this happen. We're flying to Houston. It's the NRG Stadium. Let's go check in. Okay, we're on the move. Right behind me is the United Embraer 175 that will take us up to Houston. I've just found out that this has Starlink. It's gonna be my first United Starlink flight, which is kind of exciting. But if you're traveling around Mexico for the World Cup, you are not gonna have any trouble. Maybe it's gonna get busier, I'm not sure, but they seem well set up for it, at least in my experience. But now it's time to head to the United States. Well, here we are on board the Embraer 175 of United in the business class cabin, which is arranged in a 1-2 configuration. I love an Embraer. They're so cute, cozy, comfy. Even in economy, I find them great. But in business class today, up front, I've got all the space I need. Nothing too crazy or special here, just a comfortable reclining seat, little pull-out drinks holder and tray table in the armrest. I've just gone on Starlink Wi-Fi. It is lightning fast. Just like mind-boggling that this exists in 2026, but in such limited places. This is improving my journey immensely because now I'm doing some research, I'm plotting ahead. I know about this next stadium. You're going to hear about it more when I get there. Also, just to keep singing the praises of Mexican airports, this was available next to my gate, a big pot of crudités with tajin to go with it. I like to make healthy choices. It's difficult on the road, it's difficult on a race, especially a high-pressure one like this where I'm trying to do the most, but not in Mexico. Not in Mexico. Well, I'm not sure there's a city that blends nature with urban life quite as well as Vancouver, so I've come here to the Prospect Point Lookout in Stanley Park, and I've got an unbelievably stunning 360 view of the city. Absolutely gorgeous here. So I've just booked my next leg of the journey. I'm flying back across the continent into the US. I'm going to be going to Dallas, Fort Worth, AT&T Stadium. The fatigue is starting to hit me a little bit, I'm not going to lie. So right now I'm just going to try and absorb this beautiful, peaceful nature and then go again tomorrow morning. I wonder what Nicky's doing right now. Knowing him, I'm sure it's something equally peaceful. Equally peaceful.
This is so crazy. We came inside the stadium. Touchdown Houston, we're back in the United States. If I can make it to the stadium quickly, there's a chance I could get out of here and on to my next destination. And now we're heading out of the airport to get to the NRG Stadium. Let's go quick. So we are well on our way to the NRG Stadium, which will be called the Houston Stadium for the World Cup. Capacity is up to around 80,000 people, and fun fact, they can retract the roof in just 7 minutes. Kawasi, my driver, just told me that the rodeo is on right now at the stadium, and that might make traffic bad, which is not good for me, but quite exciting for the city. I'd love to go to the rodeo. Okay, I'm out the car, here we are. Now, it is action. This is like a big old thing going on. Let's get the selfie done. Okay, listen up here. I need to get to Miami, right? But I'm not gonna make it today. I'm gonna have to stay in Houston. I think I'm gonna stay at the airport and take an early flight. There's an American flight, knocks another airline off. That gives me all the 4 airlines that I need, which means surely I should go to the rodeo. This is so crazy. We came inside the stadium. It's the rodeo now, not the football, but this is so cool.
Well, good morning from Vancouver International Airport. It is an early one today, and I'm not going to lie, I am feeling it. I think all of this travel is finally starting to catch up with me. The moon is still beaming in the sky. It's about 5:30 a.m, but I've got a flight to catch. Only American Airlines fly between Vancouver and Dallas Fort Worth. My one world status that should hopefully keep things nice and speedy for me. Well, I'm pleased to report that was a very speedy security process. A couple of interesting things to know. One, TSA PreCheck also works in Canada, so thanks to my TSA PreCheck membership, I had a very nice speedy line. And then second, you actually pre-clear immigration on this side of the border. So technically, I'm sort of on US territory already. Hoping that means my arrival into Dallas is going to be nice and quick. Well, I thought my trip was lacking a little bit of lounge action so far, so I've come to the Plaza Premium Lounge, which I accessed using my Priority Pass here by the E-Gates in Vancouver Airport. On the whole, fairly nice, pleasant place to relax. Here we go, time for the third flight of the trip with American Airlines on their Boeing 737. Hi there, Tommy.
Good morning.
Well, welcome to my economy seat, 16F here on this American Airlines 737. Once again, you might notice this is the exit row. I really think that the exit row is king when it comes to economy. The cabin here is set out in a 3x3 configuration. An important note about this exit row, there's no recline, so I'm sacrificing lying back a bit for that extra legroom. But again, on a short-ish flight, I think that's a fair trade-off. Well, I'm delighted to say that we are airborne en route to Dallas, taking off about 10 minutes post our departure time. On the whole, I've got to say, I've been really impressed with the timeliness of all of these airlines so far. Another nice little touch from American is that Advantage members can get free Wi-Fi on board this flight, and if you're not an Advantage member, you can just follow the instructions and sign up. It's pretty damn quick as well.
Off we go again. We've got a private little car in the Houston airport subway system. We're heading to Terminal A. Today we are flying American Airlines to hit the next stadium, the Hardrock Stadium of Miami. The rodeo was everything I needed to restore the spirits. There's a bit of something in the air today. Okay, we're flying American. I have status. I think I can use the lounge. Well, here's a fun fact for you. If you have One World status, Emerald status I have, that gets you into lounges even on US domestic flights, which you would not get if you were an Advantage member flying on American Airlines domestically. So it's a little win for me, although it's not looking too fun in here, to be honest. She's out of service. Right in front of me and about to board on time is the 25-year-old American Airlines 737-800 that's going to take us to Miami. I
find my way to my seat 8F on the 737-800 of American Airlines. This is actually main cabin extra, and I got to choose this seat for free because I have Emerald One World status thanks to my BA Gold status. You get about 6 inches extra legroom, so it is spacious here. There's a decent recline on this seat. The tray table is actually in the side of the seat. You also have to share the little pocket in front of you with your neighbour. Overall, though, the seat is comfortable. There's an adjustable headrest, and for a short 2-hour hop, this is pretty comfortable. It's everything that I need.
Well, I've made it to Texas. I'm here in the American South at Dallas-Fort Worth, which is incidentally also the hub of American Airlines. So for now, I need to make my way to the AT&T Stadium, and I think an Uber from the airport is going to be the easiest option today. How you doing?
One thing that could make getting around a little cheaper is that Uber is launching dedicated World Cup shuttles with fixed prices in New York, New Jersey, Boston, Miami and Dallas. You can reserve a seat in the Uber app before heading to the designated pickup point after the match and ride home without worrying about surge pricing. Fares will be $45 in Miami, Dallas and Boston, and $49 in New York and New Jersey.
Well, here I am standing in front of the AT&T Stadium over my left shoulder, home of the Dallas Cowboys and also known as America's Stadium. I don't know whether my footage will even do justice to how big this thing feels. It's basically like a massive spaceship. And since this is number 5 on my list, I'm officially over the halfway point, which I think calls for a selfie.
Touchdown Miami! Let's see if we can make it to the stadium and back to the airport in time.
We've got some very slow moving traffic on the way to the stadium, and this is going to cause us some serious problems. I'm already getting worried that I'm not going to make it out of Miami tonight, so I need this traffic to clear up. We seem to just have started moving again. We're still about 25 minutes away from the stadium.
Okay, the traffic cleared up and we are here right behind me, the Hardrock Stadium of Miami, which will house the games when they are down here. It's a very tropical looking stadium. We better get that selfie. Tomorrow at midday, we will fly up to Atlanta. That will almost put us on the home stretch. This is the only way I can figure out how to make this happen sensibly, which means it should be on the last day. I will be able to knock off 2. That's going to be the goal. It's going to be super tight though. But for now, I guess let's go enjoy the beach.
Well, as much as I would love to stay here and sample the Texas culture, vibes, food, I have got another plane to catch because I'm going to be heading straight to Kansas City to tick off the next stadium, the Arrowhead Stadium. So Texas, it's been short and sweet. Well, I've got to get back to the airport. Oh, well, it feels like I was here just a few hours ago. Oh wait, I was. I'm back at DFW. I'll tell you what, this is probably the longest airport queue I've seen on my trip so far. But luckily, I have priority with American and TSA pre-check, so I should be able to find a faster option. Well, this is awkward. That is the pre-check line. Now I'm going to go and see if my One World Sapphire status will get me access into the Admirals Club here. Hi there. Oh, well, that was successful. Not only did it get me into the lounge, I also got the little invite card to the flagship lounge, which has got spectacular views of the apron. I'm feeling more relaxed now. Well, it may not be the Texas barbecue I was hoping for, but it's nice to know, even with an economy ticket, you can still get an invite to the American Flagship Burst Lounge and get yourself a tasty spread of lunch. Oh, well, I've made it to my gate. Flight is boarding, the sun is shining. I'm very glad this is my final flight of the day. Welcome to my economy seat 10C on this American Airlines A319. As you can see, compared to this morning, things aren't all that different, but I do have an aisle seat rather than a window, and I don't have exit row this time. Although I am in a seat that falls under the main cabin extra category, which means there is a little bit more legroom here compared to some of the other economy seats back towards the rear of the plane.
Thank you very much.
Well, that is touchdown Kansas City after a very smooth, uneventful hour-and-a-half flight. I've got one thing left to do today. I've got to follow that yellow brick road all the way to the Arrowhead Stadium. Well, as you can tell, it's dark out, but I've completed the next part of the mission. That is the Arrowhead Stadium, Gillette Field, behind me, home of the Kansas City Chiefs. Absolutely incredible, striking stadium. And it's about 30 minutes from the airport by car. There aren't many public transportation options here either, so definitely keep that in mind if you are going to be flying here in the summer. But now I think all that's left to do late at night is to get the final piece that I came for. Well, I'm in the heart of Kansas City, looking for a quick bite to eat, maybe grab a quick drink, because tomorrow morning I'm going to be up early again, flying out of the country and into Canada once more, because the next stop on my tour is Toronto. Unfortunately, there aren't any direct flights from Kansas, so I'm having to connect through Detroit. So that's tomorrow. For now, let me enjoy the city, but I'm not sure if I'll be back in again anytime soon.
I never thought I would enjoy a $150 a night Miami Beach hotel, but I've really enjoyed this stay. The sun is shining, the sea is gleaming, but it is time to go because we've got to get to Atlanta. Stadium number 6, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I've got to say, my spirits are improving. Got my shorts on because it's feeling summery. Let's go win this race. I think I just forgot who I was for a second. I thought I was on holiday and I've just realised my flight is leaving in an hour. And I'm like, oh my God, if I miss this flight, the whole thing falls apart. Let's get out of here. Ooh, big car. We're flying on the 767-400, the first business class flight on a wide-body jet we've had on this trip. Well, here we are on board this Delta 767-400. Sweet, I'm in seat 2D. You want to go for the even number rows. They're the ones that have the seat closer to the window. The seat is super comfortable, lots of leg room, large crisp IFE screen. There's lighting control. This is a massive elevation from what you'll find even on other Delta planes that might be flying on this route even. Try and get these wide-body aircraft. They're quite old, they're in their 20s, but with a refresh on the inside, they're looking great. This is the life we've been trying to live for a whole week. I'm going to get up and go to the cockpit and ask for something very special. Watch this. Excuse me. Hello. Do you have you got the trading card? All right. No, I don't want that. I don't want that dirty one. Thank you very much. If you're ever on a Delta flight, go to the cockpit and you ask nicely, you're going to get one of these.
We've got 2 days left of this trip, and I've still got 3 stadiums to tick off. And my next destination is Toronto, BMO Field, and I think the best option is to connect via Detroit. I've looked at flights. I think Delta can be my best friend again, although that does leave me needing one more airline in order to complete the challenge. But for now, let's get to Kansas City Airport. Oh, look at this. I even get a fancy airport shuttle service this morning. Woo, that was nice and easy. I've got to say, I'm very impressed with Kansas City Airport. It's really big, spacious, modern, and that's because it was only completed 3 years ago. It's just a nice place to be before your flight. And once again, that was an unbelievably quick security process, under 3 minutes. Top marks from me. Well, I'm at my boarding gate now, and I can see my aircraft over there, and it is a Boeing 717, which is a narrow-body aircraft. I've never flown one before, so I'm interested to see what that's like on board. It's currently pouring with rain, which I'm hoping is going to cause any delays to my journey. Well, here we go. Time for flight number 5, I think. I'm losing track. Well, here's my seat 19A on Delta's 717, and the cabin is set out in the lesser seen 2x3 configuration. And then if I flip you around, you can see there is certainly no IFE screen, and there is no tray table either, certainly not on the back of the seat anyway, because that is actually tucked away in your little armrest next to you, and that folds out like this. Once it's flipped over, that is not very sturdy at all. Maybe the age of the plane is showing here. Boing, boing, boing. I will say at this point, it feels like I'm living on Diet Coke and economy airline snacks. It's definitely hard to hit your macros, hit your protein when you're traveling this much. Right. Well, I'm pleased to report an on-time arrival into Detroit after a fairly comfortable flight. I will say that aircraft does feel like it's falling apart a little bit, but nothing too crazy to complain about. So even though I'm about to fly internationally to Toronto, because the flight I just got off was domestic, there's no need to clear any kind of immigration again, and I think I can just walk directly to my gate now, or if I'm lucky, I can take the SkyTrain. Oh, well, Detroit just gets better and better, being treated to a little light show here in the tunnel. Well, I'm at my boarding gate, but unfortunately my flight is delayed by around 40 minutes time because the aircraft hasn't arrived yet. But hopefully it's not more than 40 minutes. Well, I thought I'd take advantage of this short flight delay by bringing myself a little light American lunch. Gotta treat yourself, right?
What a stunning flight, and what a treat to be on such a big, gorgeous plane. I love a 767, one of my favorites ever. But now I'm marching through Atlanta Airport. It's a big old airport. I need to get out quickly and get to the stadium. Okay, so we head to stadium number 6, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Because it takes about the same time to get a car or the public transport, I'm going to do public transport because it's kind of exciting that I can do this time. Heading to the MARTA train station. Let's see, what could MARTA stand for? Metro Atlanta Rail and Transit Authority. Okay, we made it onto the MARTA train. One thing I can tell you is it smells a bit weird. Okay, they told me not to buy a ticket because the gates were broken, but now there are gates that are closed and I have no way of getting out. Tried this phone, nobody answers, no staff here, so it looks like we're going underneath. We crawled under and we are here. Let's get that selfie. It's selfie time. Selfie done, stadium number 6 in the bag, and now I've got a surprise for myself. I told you today's a day for thriving. We're at the Four Seasons Atlanta and I'm going to the spa. I've got a plan for tomorrow. We're gonna head to Philadelphia and then New York to finish, but for now, we're gonna take a moment and celebrate what we've achieved so far.
Okay, well, it's finally time for flight number 6 and another new aircraft for me. This is Delta's CRJ 900. How you doing?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Well, welcome to my C12D. Feels like another quite old plane once again, but it's set out in a 2x2 configuration and I've got the exit row, shock horror, and it doesn't feel too cramped in either. Well, my carry-on bag has fit on every aircraft so far, but it has been defeated by the CRJ 900. And to be honest, my carry-on bag isn't even that big, so I'm surprised the overhead storage lockers couldn't fit it. So I've had to check it in. So just be warned, check your bag dimensions before, otherwise you might get caught out like I have. So where do I collect the bag from?
It's right
oh,
out
it's
there
there.
for
Great,
you.
amazing,
Have
thank
a
you.
good one.
Cheers. Oh, well, there we go. That's flight number 6 done. My first stair deplaning of the trip, and my bag was right there waiting for me, so not too much hassle. Hi there. I'm now in an Uber on my way to BMO Field. I could have taken public transport, but that was looking at about an hour total journey time on the express train, the streetcar, whereas this is only half an hour, and it's already getting pretty dark outside, and after last night in Kansas City, I want to show you the stadium before the sun goes down. Well, I'm delighted to say I've made it to stadium number 7 here in Toronto. You can see there is still snow on the ground behind me, and also behind me is BMO Field, home to Toronto FC, the Canadian national team. I tell you what, it's bloody freezing out here. I was definitely not prepared for these conditions. So with that in mind, I'm going to grab my selfie and get out of here. Okay, well, when in Canada, you've got to come to some kind of moose-themed establishment. So we're in the Loose Moose Bar, and the best thing about travelling all over the world is bumping into old pals. So I'm here with my buddy Fergus from school, who moved to Toronto a couple of years ago. So Fergus, what's the best thing about living here?
There's so much food. There's so many different cultures, means different food. Experiencing new things like that has been great.
Cheers to Toronto, cheers to the World Cup.
Okay, do you want the good news or do you want the multiple pieces of bad news? Because the good news is, after yesterday's restful afternoon, I had a great night's sleep and I'm feeling strong, fit and healthy for the final day. Bad news, my flight now to Philadelphia is delayed and there's some crazy freight train problem, meaning that my train, which I'm going to take from Philadelphia to New York, is delayed by hours. The rest of my journey is going to make or break this challenge. While we stroll into Atlanta Airport, a little fun fact for you. The warning signal on the Atlanta Airport SkyTrain is the same sound as when you get a bid on eBay, and it just means like money to me. Okay, right out the window in front of me is the 737-900. It's a 13-year-old jet, the last flight of this trip that's going to take me from here to Philadelphia. Lincoln Financial Field. I'm in Atlanta Airport. It's the busiest airport in the whole world, and it shows today. TSA lines were huge, my bags got stopped. Every single Delta service desk has like 1 million people waiting at it, and I am delayed today. I'm not sure when we're going to get off. I'm hoping for the best. I'm watching the bags being loaded onto our plane now. Fingers crossed we get up there soon.
here we're on board the surprisingly spacious first class seat on the Delta 737-900ER. It's a 13-year-old plane, but not looking too shabby on the inside. In the front row here, seat 1D, I've got loads of leg room. The seat has a good recline on it, and the tray table is stored in the armrest. The cabin in first class is arranged in a 2-2 configuration. It's 3-3 further back in economy. We're delayed an hour and a half now. I think I can't even get to New York in time. Okay, we took off. I'm gonna have about 45 minutes to get from Philadelphia Airport to the stadium to get the Sofi and get in the Amtrak train. We're gonna need some hopes, some prayers, and the gate that's far from the runway, Philadelphia.
I think this is almost impossible that I can make this train. I'm gonna hair it through the airport, get in an Uber, get to the stadium. Hopefully keep that Uber waiting to get to the train station. If we miss that train, who knows? Uber arrives in 4 minutes to take me to the stadium. My train departs in 21 minutes. Okay, we've got a car.
Okay, we're on the final approach to Lincoln Financial Field. One thing I didn't bank on, and one thing you should watch out for, is check the weather everywhere you go, because I've been in hot and sticky places until right now. It is cold, and I'm wearing this shirt.
Here we go, it's number 7.
Okay, let's try and get out of here. Only the finish line to go, one more stadium. It's been a disaster, but can we get a car, a train, anything to make it to the finish line? Let's see.
It's the final day of the trip, but I've still got 2 stadiums to tick off and 1 more airline. But I think I've figured out my plan. I'm going to head to Billy Bishop Airport here in Toronto and then take Porter Airlines to Boston. It's Canada's 3rd largest airline, low cost. They fly propeller planes, I believe, but I haven't got much time, so I need to get my skates on. Hi there. Well, unfortunately, the ferry service isn't running this morning, but after a short walk, I've arrived at Billy Bishop Airport, and it's looking very modern, very empty, very quiet, very good. Honestly, this sort of feels like a private airport experience. I whizzed through security, I've come through now to the gate area, there are cafes, there are shops, I've got myself a little cappuccino to wake me up, and I'm sitting with a view of my Porter Airlines Dash 8 400 aircraft, a little propeller plane that's going to take me over to Boston. Okay, well, I'm a little bit worried we might have fallen at the final hurdle here. We are currently in a ground stop, which means no aircraft are taking off or departing from this airport because of how foggy it is right now. Okay, well, we're about an hour delayed, but the skies have cleared, boarding has started. Get me to Boston. Here I am aboard flight number 7, sitting in 15A economy with Porter Airlines on their Dash 8 400. Now, this is a very compact, small aircraft. The cabin is configured in a 2x2 configuration. All the seats are exactly the same. They're pretty basic. There is no recline here. They are quite firm. No headrest to speak of, a little bit of cushioning there, but not much. You can see the back of the seat here has a little fold-out tray table that pulls down like this, fairly small, and then you can see there is not a whole load of leg room on these planes, but luckily I currently have no one sitting next to me. Okay, well, I'm actually really impressed with this. Bear in mind, it is a low-cost airline on a propeller plane, only an hour-long flight. I've got some complimentary crisps or chips, some almonds, and Diet Coke in proper glassware. That is genuinely really impressive. Well, that is my final border crossing complete. I've got into Boston Logan International nice and quickly, but now the clock is ticking. I've got to get out to the Gillette Stadium, about a 45-minute drive away, and then get back here for an American Airlines flight to New York. I've only got about 2.5 hours to get all of that done, so I need to get my skates on. This could be really, really tight. Okay, step 1 complete. I had an Uber booking accepted. Thank you very much. Okay, well, that's step 2 complete. I've made it into my Uber en route to the Gillette Stadium, and as you can probably tell, it's not located in Boston. It's sort of right between Providence and Boston. About 25 miles or so from the airport, so not a quick journey. No public transport available as far as I can tell. So if you are coming here, your best bet is going to be a cab. Oh, at least I'm on the move now, but this is getting very, very close. Oh, well, I've made it to venue number 8 after a 45-minute Uber journey. The Gillette Stadium, home to the New England Revolution, the New England Patriots. It's absolutely enormous. I'd love to stay and admire it, but I've got another plane to catch, so it's going to be a quick selfie.
Well, I'm back in the car and I've just had a notification through from American Airlines that boarding starts in 1 hour. That's going to take me about 45 minutes to get to the airport. So if there are TSA lines, I could be in real trouble here. Okay, well, I'm back at the airport and I'm officially losing my mind at this point, but I made it here. That's what matters. And I've got 23 minutes until boarding. So let's get through security. Oh, okay, well, big sigh of relief. I've made it through. There was no queue at TSA pre-check, nice and speedy. I'm going to get my American Airlines flight to JFK. This is it, the final flight of the trip. Welcome to my final seat of this trip, 10F on this American Airlines at Brea 175. The cabin is configured in a 2x2 configuration. Well, as Boston disappears from you, I'm very happy to report we are airborne with the final flight of the trip. We've departed bang on time, which is great news. Now, there are obviously many ways to get between Boston and New York. There are different flights available. I mentioned earlier you can fly to Newark, JFK, LaGuardia is another option. There's also an Amtrak service, which takes between 3.5 to 4.5 hours, depending on what train you get. And then obviously you can drive as well. There's plenty of options on this well-traveled route. And my flight today, I don't think it should take any more, 45 minutes. Well, that is my final flight complete. Boston to JFK with American Airlines. Nice and easy, early arrival into New York City. And now, final thing left to do is to get that taxi to the Metlife. And I've heard that a certain Nicky Kelvin is in the area as well, so I want to beat him there. Okay, my Uber's on the way. Okay, we've made it to the Uber nice and quickly. We're an hour and 4 minutes away from the Metlife Stadium. It's all the way over in New Jersey. It's a little bit of a drive away. I've got no idea where Nicky is now, but come on, we've got to beat him.
Hello. How you doing? Yeah. For Nicky. Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah.
Disaster. He's leaving. He won't take me to New York. Not even New York, New Jersey. He won't go there. Okay, knight in shining armor number 2 is approaching. Sorry, it's a bit of a long journey. I hope it's all right.
It's okay.
Okay, great. We're off. This journey has been mammoth and exciting and tiring and stressful, but I feel like I've learned a lot.
Let me share 3 quick tips that I've picked up over the last 7 days.
First big takeaway is Mexican airports and airlines and flying are so efficient. The people were so welcoming. I wouldn't hesitate to have a bit of a Mexican moment if you are going to do some World Cup viewing.
Number 1, it's probably not worth paying to sit in the front of the plane on these short hops across the continent. If you're paying for the airline's business class product on their narrow body aircraft, you're better off saving your money picking the exit row.
Next big takeaway is public transport, at least for all the ones that I went to, will be a struggle. The only place which had good public transport for me was Atlanta, which was very easy, although it was smelly on that subway, but it was very quick and efficient from the airport to get to the stadium.
Tip number 2, Ubers are expensive. Obviously, in some places like Dallas, Kansas City, driving really is your only option. So in those instances, try and travel with a group so you can at least split the Uber or Lyft cost. But where possible, places like Vancouver, Toronto, Seattle all have great public transport options. You're going to save money and have a much better time.
My next big takeaway is that everywhere I went had something so different and lovely to give and to experience. So if you're going to a city for the football, just make sure you experience the place that you're in. Get the local food, go to one of the local restaurants. I tried to do that everywhere I went and it really made the experience amazing.
And then actually, my final note, everyone here has been so unbelievably friendly. The waiters, the cabin crew, the taxi drivers, they've all given me so many tips about where to eat, what to do. They're extremely welcoming, and I think that if you're a fan traveling here in the summer, you're going to meet loads of people who just want to show you their countries, their cities, and you're going to have an unbelievable time.
And in just 11 minutes, we're going to make it to the Metlife Stadium, the place where the final is going to be held. And hopefully, I'm going to beat Liam, get there first, and complete this incredible mission.
Okay, I can see the stadium in the distance. The floodlights are on. We're getting close now. There we go. Thank you. Oh, there we go. I made it.
Oh my God. We've arrived to heaps of ice and a very big stadium, but we're here. But did we win?
Right, I'm here. I'm just getting to the front of the stadium now to see if I beat Nicky.
But the timestamp is going to be the thing that decides it. So I better get my selfie done.
Okay, well, I've done it. I've made it to the stadium.
Here it is, the last and final one. One more selfie to round it all off. We did it!
Oh God, I'm going to be right out in front, but I can see a figure in the distance, and I think I know who that figure is.
Well, here he is running along towards me. Little does he know, I'm here with good time.
Oh, he's finally beaten me. Yeah! Oh, there he is. 16 stadiums, 7 days, mission complete.